Alright, this is the second tutorial talk about how to transfer the perspective from Rhino to Illustrator and Photoshop for composition. One thing I want to just point out is we'll use make 2D command to export the perspective to other program. One thing you want to make sure is the lines you generate from make 2D has to be simple. I mean, sometimes if you have a perspective, you see the lines here, this is one single line. It became really complex. In this case, when you export this guy into Illustrator, you might have some issues because Illustrator cannot really read this complex polyline. So my suggestion is you select all the complex lines here, and then you use explode to break this apart. So as a result, you can see the original line is a 700 single curve. Now it's a break apart into 1400. So it's almost doubled the number. The benefit is if you take a look at the selection now, is every single line now is very, very simple, right? It's just 2 points and one single polyline. So this is the trick you explode to make the drawing a little bit simpler. Also here you can see here's another make 2D drawings I made based on the parallel. So the lines here is actually pretty simple. I don't have to explode. So just make sure if the lines became complex, you want to explode before you export. Alright, so I will select this guy and export as selection. And then I will make sure is P2. This should be fine. And then I will choose R12 line and arts. Okay, so key point is you want to make sure all the line is break apart into segments. Then here I can go ahead open this file directly in Illustrator. So here I have old version, so the interface might be a little bit different. So first I will load that P2. That is a parallel perspective. That looks pretty good. Right, and here I can scale. I can do whatever things I like. You can see in the stroke you can change the thickness of the line. You can change to a thinner one. You can change to dash line. Probably doesn't make sense to change to dash line, but you get the point. There's many things you can manipulate here. Also, let me delete that one, and then I will import place the 3D perspective here. So you can see that is a rhino perspective, and again you can control the thickness of the line. You can play with the color, so I can change to green color here. This come out as green. So anyway, you can do the whole composition right here in Illustrator. What I really want to talk about is actually how to use Photoshop to do this. Because for me, I feel more comfortable with layers in Photoshop. So the question is how we can transfer this file from Illustrator to Photoshop. First thing I want to change the color back to black. Alright. The quick way to do that is you go to File, then you can export. I could actually put this the parallel line here as well, so I can do these two drawings together. I will put this one right here, maybe scale a little bit. Just click holding shift. So when you scale, when you're holding shift, you can keep the proportion. Alright, I think I'm happy with that. Then I'm going to export to Photoshop. You can choose JPEG. This is a quick way. If you want to rasterize the vector image into bitmap, JPEG is a good choice. You can also choose other options like TIFF, like DXF, or I think you can export to PSD as well, so it's maintained as a layered file. Okay, so I will do a simple, let's see, I will do a simple line PSD file. Alright, and then I will give the file name as lines. Click Save. Then this is the place you can control the resolution. So I'm going to use the high resolution 300. Alright, and I click OK. So to export this Illustrator file rasterized into a bitmap. Okay, that will take for a while. Alright, before I close, I will export this file one more time. I will export this one to, I think I will just print, yes, here. I'm going to print this one into PDF. The reason is Photoshop can open PDF directly, so PDF is another option. So here I'm going to print. I will give the name lines. So we have a PDF version as well. It depends on how complex the perspective is. This might take for a while if you have thousands of lines. Alright, and then I will do one more thing is export. Yeah, this is actually a PDF version. That's pretty clean. Close that. And then I will export one more as JPEG. So let's give the name as lines as well. And here I want to give quality as 10, so good quality. RGB color should be good. Anti-alias, depth, that's good. Then I will export. Alright, then let's take a look at these files. So first I'm going to Photoshop. I'm going to open the first one, the PDF. So I will just drag the file in. Alright, so this is the PDF file looks like. You see the benefit of PDF is the background is transparent. So it's very easy, you can do the composition. For example, if you have a picture of your model, you can easily do the composition there. Maybe I will talk about in the next tutorial. Now let's open that PDF, the JPEG. So here's the JPEG file. You see the background is white. It's a little bit blurred here. So compared with the PDF, PDF definitely is much better. And then let's open that PDF. PSD is much better. Sorry. And then let's open that PDF. I forgot where I print that PDF. Let's see. Okay, it's right here in my documents. So here we go. I will open that PDF in Photoshop. So here's something you will notice when you open a PDF in Photoshop, it will ask you about resolution. This is really nice because you can customize. If you think, well, I want to do a really big board, I want to give resolution as 300, or if you want to have a small one like 8 by 11, you can choose a 72. That should be fine. So here I will choose a really big one, 300, and click OK. Then you can see it's sort of like a PDF, but you get a really nice resolution. One thing I want to mention is even let's go ahead and reopen this file, PDF. You can even bouncing up to 600 if you want a really big board. So 600 pixel per inch, and click OK. You can see this time the resolution is even higher. So that is really flexible with a PDF, right? So the conclusion is either PSD or PDF will give you that flexibility for the composition. Alright, so this is the two images right here in Photoshop. The next thing I want to do really quick is do a simple composition with Photoshop. So first, I'm going to loading a picture really quick. I'm going to using a photo from a student. Let's see. Probably I will just using this one. Okay, I will drag it in. Alright, so this is a picture, really nice lighting and shadow. A quick way to compose this is you want to think about what is the resolution or final paper size you want to print. So usually I will start with create a new file. So here I will define the size. For example, I want to do a 11 by 17. So here the dimension. Resolution I want to give, let's see, 300. This is pretty high resolution. So 11 by 17 inches, pixel per inch is a 300. So click OK. You got this new file. Then I can drag this image right here. So you can see that is the photo right there. I can use Ctrl T. This is hotkey in Photoshop to rescale the image. Ctrl T. Double click to finish. Alright, and then I can drag this transparent, right, this file directly into this layer. So you see the layers are on top of this one. And then I can maybe Ctrl T, go to this layer 1, Ctrl T again. I want to make it smaller. Okay, double click to accept. So this one is a layer 2. I can make it right here. Okay, so that looks good. If I do want to change the color, let's see, I want to make this layer 2 as a different color. So double click layer 2. It should pop up a layer style window. So here I can just make sure to double click this location. Alright, then I choose stroke. I want to give the stroke color, let's give a right color. That should be fun. I want to do the overlay color overlay as right as well. I think the stroke is a little bit too fat. Let's give 1 pixel. Alright. Then I can do a simple composition, to make this stroke kind of floating above your model. I probably want to make the model bigger. Let's do that. And then this stroke, I'm going to change color to white. I think black and white should be good. So white color for color overlay, white color for stroke. So here you go. You got this really nice composition. Okay. And I can select this portion. I want to move a little bit. Move it here. Alright. So some of the lines here I want to clean. So delete, 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 delete. Alright. So the line here I'm going to add, make it here. Then I can draw some additional lines. So create a new layer, and then I can fill the color. Control delete. I think that is Control delete is a quick way you can add a color. Control delete. Alt delete. Oh, it's Alt delete. Here we go. Really simple composition here. Alright. So I can change the transparency of this a little bit. And I can even go to the layer here. If you think, well, this is a thickness is a little bit too thin, I can increase or decrease. So it's very, very flexible. You can also select that portion and then use Ctrl T. You can scale. Right? So if you want to make this one big, you can have this new thickness right here. Or you can go to stroke. I can change the stroke to 0 if you want to get rid of that. So just uncheck it. So here's the new stroke. Alright, so hopefully this tutorial will help you to understand how to do the composition here in Photoshop and Illustrator.